everybody doing? I have just been working on obviously this podcast that featured Ayub, the Central podcast. I thought the interviewer who did a really good job approaching quite sensitive topics. However, I do think that, he didn't know that much about the case, so he wasn't able to really ask him questions, very specific questions. But I have just wrote down a few pointers about the case, and I thought I should share it with you. So he basically comes from Barking, East London, and the Marley Boys also come from there. I'm not saying that he's a part of them, but I'm just saying that they do come from that area. He's always been involved in gangs. He's seen a lot of death, blah blah blah. Who hasn't? If you come from London, you have. So apparently, he started county lines in whilst he was in college, and at 16, although obviously there's a possibility he could have started that a lot sooner. And he knows all of the motorways in the UK, most of them, allegedly. This is what he said in the interview. So that kind of gives you insight into his knowledge of county lines. If you know all the motorways, you know the whole country, so you are literally going back and forth doing what? What do you think? So anyway, let's go down here. So he chose the Airbnb specifically. This is what I thought was it did make me laugh a bit, I'm not gonna lie. So apparently it was booked 4 days prior. He wanted to stay there to be at one with nature. He wanted to stay there to be cultured. He wanted to stay there to be in the beautiful mountains, because he had an experience before that involved 2 girls and a quad bike. And he went up the mountains, and he seen how beautiful it was. So that's why he decided to book out that Airbnb. I'm sorry, but there's much nicer locations that he could have booked in that area that would have allowed him to be at one with nature. If he usually goes for 4 or 5 stars, there's no way I believe that you would pick a place like that if you're not used to it. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but that's my humble opinion, and everything I say is alleged, so take it as you want. So I found something weird what he said. So it's a bit of a sensitive topic. He said, "I've never raped a woman, so why would I rape a guy?" And I just thought, gosh, what an awful thing to say. I understand his English is not that, great, but why would you say, I've never raped a woman, so why would I rape a guy? It's like a double negative, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything allegedly. I just found it very bizarre to say something like that, and he does say bizarre things like that. Like he said before, Jay came here alive and he left alive. He also said recently, he came here in one piece and he left in one piece. What a thing to say, and yeah, he says, he talks about trolls trying to out him. No, we're just trying to understand you, because what you say doesn't make sense, and you're constantly changing your story. I can't keep up with it. Anyway, So Lucy, he knew her from one of his other pals. He did not know Lucy any more than Jay. Do you believe that? I'm sorry, but I really don't. I find that so hard to believe. There's pictures of Lucy and Ayub in the club, allegedly. Lucy's always out in Tenerife. Ayub's always out in Tenerife. I do believe that they're part of a network, personally. That's just my humble opinion. So yeah, I find that funny, to be honest with you. And then he said they come out there to do their thingy. What's their thingy? It's like he's kind of saying, oh, they chill with me for a bit and then I send them out to do their dirty work. That's what I got from it, but I could be completely wrong. I tried to make some kind of a timeline, but I just found his language really difficult to understand. I'm not going to lie with you guys. So he said England was playing, him, Jay, his pal, my boy Rocky, and then Jay's pal, who I assume is Brandon. We all knew each other for a while, or it could be Bradley, I don't know. They was all watching the England game. We're going last night to the Papagayo. He was wearing a beige and not a pink top, because he said that picture of him in a Papagayo, where he's up on the banister, apparently that's not him in the pink top. That's what he said. So we went to our event and they went to theirs. We met some girls, went to the strip. Jay come out and we would all chill. Matey, Jay's pal, the young lad, wanted to go home, and I put question mark, is that Brad? Because he's the smaller one and Brandon's bigger, so I assume it would be him. He went back to the strip to finish off some work. During that time, Lucy and my pal walked off looking like they forgot something. There, Lucy's eliminated. They walked off. They wanted to go home. Brad went home. Jay refused to go home. He wanted to party. He said, I don't have the key. Once the girl comes, we'll go. So I allegedly was waiting for a girl. He just said, wait for the girl and then we'll go. Then Rocky got tired and Jay had a coherent conversation. So why would pals leave if he couldn't stand up? That's what Ayub's point was. So Jay was allegedly able to stand, able to have a coherent conversation. Now, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place because he was jumping all over the place too, and it's really hard to follow. So they went to a kebab shop on the corner of the road, between 5:30 and 6:30, they were all in the car. So I don't understand why Jay was so urgent to leave it if he wanted a scran when they had a kebab on the Veronica Strip, I assume. So they're all driving back, and he never took the girl. So basically Rocky got too tired, so he just forgot about the girl. I don't know what happened to her. I also find it just crazy that they both have an apartment. I can't remember the area, but it's a lot closer to the NRG than this Airbnb. So it's just crazy that they have an apartment yet they chose that Airbnb. I don't get it. So they stopped off at a place. He brought some Pepsi and Sprite, but originally he was like, oh yeah, we had to stop off here and get Rocky's water. Rocky loves water, so we got loads of water. Now it's changed from that to just getting some Pepsi and Sprite, and allegedly, it's been alleged that there was 7 people in the car. But he said they were driving a Cooper Estate Silver, and he's got a video. He was sat at the back, had done all the talking earlier on. This is when he's talking about Jay now. So he was sat in the back of the car. He said they were drinking champagne, but there is a video out there, and hello.
you know what I'm saying? Because you can prove someone's fell and hit something, but what you can't prove what's happened prior to that. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to make assumptions, say this happened or that happened, because the moment he said I'm going, bro, and said I'm off, and I shut my door, that's me out of this.